Cool. Well, I just pinned you, Elijah, and we're good to go. Thank you.
Cool. All right, everyone. So, like I was mentioning, find a comfortable position, either sitting on your butt, kneeling on your knees, or standing. I'm going to choose kneeling here. And you don't have to close your eyes. You can if you would like to. And we're just going to pop our shoulders up and down. My shoulders are extremely crunchy today. Maybe yours are too. It's okay if they're not. It's probably better if they're not. It just adds in some movement. Nice. Raise your arms up overhead. Stretch them up towards the sky. And let them fall down gently. We'll be doing some breath with this now too. As your hands wave up towards the sky, big inhale. And as they lower towards the ground, big exhale. And again, inhale. As hands come up, inhale. And I want you to imagine your hands going far past where they actually are, reaching up towards the sky. Imagine your fingers are either physically or energetically touching the sky above you. And then as they come down, exhale and imagine your fingers going deep into the earth beneath you. One more time, up. Nice. Nice job, nice job, nice job. All right, instead of up and down, now we're gonna go kind of, well, not the opposite direction, but a different direction. Hug yourself really tight. And then unravel, hands come out towards your side. Don't have to be really specific about your breath right here. We're just hugging tight and extending out. Hugging tight, extending out. Inhale as you hug in tight here. Exhale as you release out. Inhale as you hug in tight. Exhale as you release out. Now choose one of those directions, either hands up high and then down low, or hands hugging across and releasing out. And just do that at your own pace. Breathing normally, or breathing with movement, excuse me. And as you're here, eyes can be open, eyes can be closed, but I want you to envision yourself at your most powerful, whatever that means for you. What does it feel like to be at your most powerful? What would it be like to be at your most powerful? What does it look like? Where are you in your mind's eye? Who are you with, if anyone? Just imagine that as you feel yourself expand out sideways or up and down. And then for yourself, I want you to fill in the blank here in this statement that I'm about to say, and I'll also type it in the chat. At my most powerful, I am blank. And just fill in the blank with one word. No need to share it, no need to type it in the chat. Just reflect on that for yourself and what that feels like for you. Lovely. Keep that one word, keep that in the back of your mind. If it's accessible to you, I also love to encourage folks to write it down on a piece of paper and place it somewhere on your body, whether in a pocket, in a strap, in a sock. Just keep it with you while we move through the session. And also, you don't have to, but yeah. All right, y'all. Let's come up to standing now if you can. If you'd like to stay seated for this, that also works. I will be standing for folks who would like to be standing. So let's get into some fight movement here. We're going to go over our basic fight stance. So if you're standing, start with your feet shoulder width apart. and take 1 foot, doesn't matter which one, take 1 foot, half step back and bend both knees. I'll try to point my camera downwards at least for this for a second. So I'm here. Knees are generously bent. Even when you feel like your knees are bent enough, bend them a little bit more for me. Perfect. Hands are going to come up. One of my hands is near my jaw here. And if you're seated, this is where our hands are going to come into play here. One hand is going to be up near my jaw. And the other hand is in a V shape out in front of me here. And I'm looking forward right over my fists. Lovely. Elbows are tucked in here, right? It's a common first instinct for our elbows to come out, right? Because we want to put our hands up. We want our elbows to protect our rib cage, protect our organs, right? So they're tucked in like so. Lovely. Perfect. So here's our fight stance. My knees are bent, my hands are up, I'm looking forward. When I move in this fight stance, I'm going to adjust my camera again. When I move in this fight stance, my feet stay wide, right? I want to avoid bringing my feet together for too long, because when my feet come together, then my base is narrower and it's easier for me to be off balanced, right? So I want my feet wide here. We're going to practice just moving forward 3 steps and then moving back 3 steps, keeping my knees really bent here. If I start to walk normally, right, again, I'm compromising a little bit of my structure, a little bit of my foundation. Knees stay bent. You might feel a little bit like you're walking like a crab because my feet are staying really apart and wobbling a little bit. That's totally normal, totally okay as we get used to this new movement. Go at your own pace. I'm going a little fast here. You can go at whatever pace you'd like. Just practicing walking forward and back, keeping those feet wide. Perfect. Let me adjust something in the room that I'm in really quick. A little more light. Lovely. Cool. Good job, y'all. So, we're getting used to moving forward and back. We're going to start moving side to side as well, right? We want to be able to move quickly and efficiently in every direction. Again, really key here for my feet to not come too close together. So even as I'm moving side to side, I'm really feeling like a crab. I'm shuffling. My feet stay wide. My knees stay bent. My foundation stays really strong, right? From here, it's a lot harder to topple me over. It's harder to catch me off guard. And I can still be quick and reactive, right? So moving side to side at your own pace. Whenever you feel ready, whenever it feels right for you, you can start moving in all 4 directions in random patterns if you'd like. You can switch feet if you'd like as well, keeping those feet wide. So let's get used to that. Hands are staying up here. You can turn to face different walls in the room that you're in or in the space that you're in. Keeping those feet wide. Keeping hands up. Good job, everyone. Nice. Nice job, Lilith. I like those hands up. Good job. Lovely. All right. Cool. We can take a beat from that. So this is our fight stance. When we've decided that we need to strike, when we've decided that something is happening enough to feel like I need to get ready to strike, right? This is the stance I want to be in. Sometimes if you're out and about, a strict hands up like this, like you're an MMA fighter, might not be the decision that you make, because this can be antagonizing depending on who's showing up, right? But hands up here, open hands also works, right? My hands are still, one hand still up my jaw, one hand still in a V in front of me, but it's a little more defensive. It's a little more, what's the right word? Oh, escalate, not de-escalating. There's another word I'm looking for that I can't really think of, but it's the case is the case. So I'm here. Knees are still bent. Everything is still the same. Hands are just open. Shoulders will just a little bit more relaxed. All right, y'all. If you have water near you, I encourage you to take a sip of water right now. I see a lot of us in this heat wave, whether you're in Arizona, New York. I'm in North Carolina, and it's hot as hell here as well. So just take a sip. Lovely. Cool. This next part here, we won't spend a lot of time on it, but it is an important skill to be able to stand up safely if we are on the ground. So if you are in the space to do so, if it's in your body's capability today, find a seat on the ground. Being able to rise up from a lower position can be extremely important. If we find ourselves on the ground, we want to be able to stand up safely without compromising our head, right? So when I'm seated on the ground here, I want to lean over to one butt cheek, and one of my knees is going to tilt over like so, right? So if I'm sat on both butt cheeks, I'm leaning over, one knee falls to the ground, I'm still here. Whichever butt cheek, whichever knee fell to the ground, that same side hand is going to plant close to my butt on the ground next to me. Perfect. From here, I'm going to plant that hand firmly on the ground, plant my opposite foot firmly on the ground, and pull my fallen knee side back behind me. Perfect. That's perfect. So we can come back to the ground here. And please feel free to ask questions on this if it's feeling confusing in any way. So again, starting from both butt cheeks on the ground, choose a butt cheek, lean onto that butt cheek, let that knee fall. Same side hand, plant close to my butt. I'm pressing up, and I need my hand close to me. If my hand is far away from my butt, and I try to press up, there's not a lot of space for my butt to move through because I'm so far away from my own center of gravity here. I'm close, and my foot stands up right beneath me. Perfect. Lovely. Perfect. Good job, Lion. I see that. So what this affords us here is I'm able to get up and only use one hand. My other hand can be up in front of me, guarding my face, just like in that fight stance, right? I'm here. As I stand up, my hands can come up. So I'm here. My hand is up in front of my face. And as soon as I stand up, I'm already in a good position to be in a fight stance. So let's do that 2 more times at your own pace. If you're interested in elevating your heart rate a little bit more, go ahead and do that 5 times. If you want to elevate your heart rate a lot, try to do that 8 to 10 times. Totally up to you. Standing up into our fight stance. After you finish those stand-ups, grab a sip of water. Lovely. All right. Back edit will come into play a little bit later once you start doing a little bit more of chaining everything together. But for now, we're going to set that aside. All right. We're in our fight stance. Let's get to punching, right? So a punch for my lead hand, a punch for my front hand is always called a jab. No matter if it's my left hand or my right hand, the hand that's in front, that's my jab hand. When we punch, we're making impact with the front of our knuckles here. My fist is closed tight. My elbow stays tucked into my body as I punch straight out and straight back. What can often happen is when people want to punch really hard, Their elbow will flare out and they'll cut this at an angle a little bit. For now, what I want us to practice is keeping that elbow in tight, straight out, straight back. From the side, it'll look like straight out and straight back. Straight out and straight back. My other hand stays tight to my jaw here, straight out and straight back. Perfect. When I'm throwing out this jab, my hips are turning with me, right? I want my hips to turn with me so that more of my weight can actually turn into impacting on this punch. If I use just my arm, still can make impact really well, right? But I want my body weight to land behind it so that I'm structurally sound here. So it's not just my elbow and my shoulder taking the impact of it, it's my body weight. And so that the person or whoever, whatever I'm hitting, can actually also feel the weight behind it as well. All right. Good job, everyone. All right, let's talk about this rear hand punch. A punch from my rear hand is always called a cross, right? So my hip still turns, my elbow stays tucked in, and my fist comes straight out, straight back, straight out, and straight back. Tilt this a little bit so that you can see the lower half of my body here. I'm here. So for my cross, my hip is turning straight out and straight back. Hip turns, comes back. So pick one point on the wall or in the space in front of you. If you're outside, maybe it can be a leaf in the distance, or it can be something out in front of you that you can see. And if you're inside, pick one spot on the wall. Even if there's nothing on the wall in front of you, pick an imaginary spot. And I want you to practice those jabs and those crosses, specifically aiming at the spot in front of you. Make sure each punch for right now is distinct, right? We can get into a habit of kind of kitty pawing it, right? When both of our arms are out here. For right now, I want a one punch, one punch, one punch, one punch. At your own pace, make sure those hands stay up, elbows stay tucked in. Nice job, Lion, yeah. We're keeping our feet grounded so that when we do exert energy, it's into that punch, right? I don't want to spend too much energy wiggling around in between punches for right now. When we're practicing stable, I want to practice conserving my energy and punching and exerting all the energy that I have when I need to. Yeah, chin stays tucked here. Good job. All right. Now, let's chain those punches together. If we have the opportunity to throw one punch, I want us to have the instinct to throw two punches, right? So again, whenever you can throw one punch, you can probably throw two. I'd much rather have you throw two or three or four. That's why combinations and chaining our strikes together is really, really important. So I'm here in my fight stance here. I'm going to throw my jab and then my cross, one after the other. The difference here between throwing two individual punches or a combination of them together is that one of them leads into the other. They're distinctly connected. So when I throw my cross here, my hips are turned, my hips are loaded to launch my cross forward as well, right? Here, here. Full extension, full extension. Shoulders and head stays on top of our hips here. I want to avoid leaning forward and reaching out for my punches. I stay grounded in between my feet. Great. Pick that spot on the wall again. It can be the same spot or a different spot. You can change directions here, whatever feels exciting, whatever feels comfortable for you. I'm just going to practice again. Throwing that combination. Jab, cross. Jab, cross. Jab, cross. Nice job, Lilith. Nice. Take beats when you need to. Take little breaks when you need to. Let's all take a sip of water right here as well. Cool. It's hot out there, y'all. Every summer, I think of that Simpsons meme that's like, it's really hot, but it's the coolest summer of the rest of our lives. Does anyone else know that Simpsons meme? Yeah, I know. I know Ryan knows it. We've talked about that before. Yeah, Kira knows it too. Cool. All right, y'all. Good job. Haven't, but it's perfect. Yeah, it's haunting. All right. So we're here in our fight stance. We're getting comfortable with our punches. I want us, before we move on to our kicks, I want us to set up in our fight stance here. And every time I say go, you're gonna throw that combination 1, 2. Hips are turning, elbows are in tight. I want you throwing that punch as quickly as you would like to. I want those punches to be, what's the right word I want to use? I guess efficient, I guess is the word that I'm thinking about. So every time I say go, the skill that we're practicing here is we're adding a little bit more of unpredictability to this technique that we've just learned, right? Cool. Just checking chat. So, oh, my train of thought is gone. Yeah. Every time I say go, we're going to throw that punch. And we're practicing not only how to react under unpredictability, we're also practicing how to breathe under unpredictability. So even though we're doing the same thing, you might notice that your heart rate increases just a little bit. Your breath might increase just a little bit because you don't know when I'm going to say go, right? And so on top, not more than just thinking about the punches, I want you to focus on keeping your breaths low in your tummy and slow. So even if every time I say go, you feel like the punches are maybe being a little slower than you want them to be, that's okay. The most important thing here for this moment is to practice breathing so that you can be really set up to throw a solid punch. Can someone give me a smiley face in the chat if that is making sense so far? Lovely. Perfect. Okay, yay. Love that those were all different kinds of smiley faces. That is perfect. Okay, so set up in your fight stance. Pick a spot in the wall, on the wall in front of you, in the room in front of you, in the space in front of you. Keep those knees bent. Big deep breath here. Low and slow. Hands up at the ready. And go. Nice. Good job. Reset. Back to 1. Knees bent. Big deep breath. Go. Nice. Go. 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 Nice job. Nice. Go. Lovely. Go. Perfect. Okay, so staying in that fight stance here, taking our deep breaths. I'd like to extend the invitation to now start moving around, right? In between me saying go, right? So if it were me, I'd just be stepping around, stepping forward, stepping back, not punching, only punching when I hear the go, but just getting used to also being in movement. Every time I say go, fighting that grounding, punch, punch, and then back to moving around. Doesn't have to be a lot of movement. Doesn't have to be super extreme of like covering distance per se. But for right now, just getting some movement in between the punches. And if you'd like to stay stationary and do this drill the exact same way that we were just doing it, also perfectly perfect. All right. Find your fight stance here. Big deep breath. Start moving if you'd like to. And go. Good job. Go. 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 Nice job, Lion. Nice job, Lilith. Go. 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 Lovely. Good job, everyone. Take a sip of water, then we'll add in some kicks here. All right. Give me one word in the chat for something that you're noticing in your body right now. Cool. Humidity. So true, Lou. Yeah. Yeah. Heat. Cool. Okay. Kier, hot as in sexy or hot as in warm? Could be both. Absolutely. Love.
I love the yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Anger. Cool. That's also so welcome, Lion. And I'm glad to also be generating that. Beautiful. Cool. Yeah. What everything that comes up in your body as we are striking, moving through these things is generative. Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave that at that for now. Cool. Let's move into some kicks. So we're in our fight stance here. I want you to stomp on the ground. Just take one big stomp, either foot. It doesn't have to be like a true stomp, like with force, but just a stomp where my knee comes up towards my chest and stomps down. I'm slamming, not slamming, I'm making impact with the ground below me with the sole of my foot, right? Knee comes up, knee comes down. Now, do that same movement, right? Knee coming up, knee coming down. Instead of my foot tracking down, my knee is going to come up towards my chest and strike outwards. It's the same stomping movement. I'm imagining striking with the sole of my foot just out in front of me rather than down. And this kick doesn't have to be high at all, right? If I can, I'm going to adjust my camera, excuse me. Like doing this kick low, like so, is also extremely effective. I'm imagining striking someone's foot, someone's knee. That also works. Going at waist level also works. Kicking at chest level also works. It's completely up to you and what your hip and your knee are capable of, and whatever it is capable of is the right thing to do. Practicing that a couple more times here. Practice with both feet as well. Lovely. Big deep breath, shake it out. So that's our push kick. And just like in the name, we're pushing. We're pushing someone away. If you're familiar with Muay Thai at all, they call that a teep traditionally in Muay Thai. It's the same as a push kick. So I'm here, I kick out. Really great for making space and keeping distance. Making space and keeping space is what I mean. If you notice that there's something that you want to keep distance from, and you want to make sure that it's done with, what's the right word? Force is not the right word, but just with success is what I want to say. legs are always going to be stronger than arms. So always keep that in mind. So, push kick here. Perfect. Our second kick we're going to do today is a front kick. The motion is very similar, but we're striking with a different part of our leg. Instead of striking with the sole of our foot, we're going to be striking with our shin, right? So my knee is still going to come up towards my chest, but instead of the sole of my foot extending out forward, I'm going to be flipping my foot up like so. So I'm striking upwards with the top of my shin out. My toes can be pointed as I make contact, as I extend out, or they can be pointed up towards the sky. Totally up to you. Also, just like with our push kick, whatever height you can do is the right height to do, right? So we can practice flipping a kick high, but flipping a kick low is also still extremely effective and works up a sweat in your body as well, right? So practice that 3 times with each leg. Doesn't matter which leg is in front or back. Just practice the movement at your own pace. No need to, push yourself super hard to the point where no need to push yourself beyond what your body has today. So if it takes you, 5 whole minutes to do these 3 kicks, please take those five whole minutes. Once that kick is feeling familiar enough to add a new variable, we're going to be at your own pace, start moving around. Right? Move forward, move back, and at your own pace, at random, throw that kick out. Whichever kick, whether it's a front kick or a push kick. We're just adding in a little bit more movement, one more variable, and we're just practicing finding that relaxation, keeping our breath, and striking while in motion. Hands are staying up here, staying up next to our face. Lovely. All right, shake it out. Take a beat. Very nice job. Grab a sip of water. Just the tiniest little sip here. So these strikes are strikes that are a full extension of our limbs. They are our strikes at distance, right? So there's a gap somewhere here, right, between me and my target, and I need to cover a little bit of distance to get a strike done. Now let's move on to our strikes that are for when we're a little bit more close, right? I'm in my fight stance. I'm going to bring my hands out a little bit in front of me, and my knee just comes up and forward. Yeah, just like that, Lilith. Good job. Knee strikes forward. The kneecap is hard as rocks. It is not fun, right? So that's why we want to be able to also bring it up and strike at a closer distance, right? If I'm being if my space is being invaded a little bit, I don't have a lot of distance, I might not have enough space to really extend out a kick, but I still want to be able to strike. So I use that knee. Hands come out, use that knee. Again, whatever height feels good for you today, feels good for me. Practice that a couple times with each strike. If you have a little bit of martial arts experience, this might feel a little bit comfortable for you. I would encourage you to also integrate extending the hip out, right? When we just use our knee, that works great. But we also, if these movements are familiar to you, make sure you're also extending your hip out to really, again, move your body weight through this knee. Nice. Nice, Lilith. Nice, Lion. Good job. Nice, Ray. Cool. All right, check it out. Okay, let's just add this into a strike that we already know. I'm here in my fight stance. I'm gonna go jab, cross, just like we did before, knee. And take that slow, okay? I don't need it to be quick. I want it to be at this pace, truly. Jab, cross, knee. Reset. Jab, cross, knee. And try it with a different set. Jab, cross, knee. Jab, cross. Different leg thing here. We're going to do a front kick instead. Front kick. Jab, cross, front kick. At your own pace here, we're going to drill that combination, right? So again, combinations are when we chain strikes together in a way where they are connected, in a way where they are connected, actually. That's where the sentence actually ends. So at your own, you can choose what lower body technique you'd like to use. So I can either use my front kick, my push kick, or my knee. And you can switch it up too. You can mix it up. I'm just practicing that combination over and over again. Jab, cross, foot thing. Jab, cross, foot thing. At your own pace. Y'all are doing great. Really, really, really good job. Nice. If you're comfortable with those moves as you're doing them in while you're stationary, start moving around at random and at your own pace, at your own decision. Throw that combo. Go as quick or as fast as you'd like. Or quick or fast? That's not what I meant. Quick or slow. LOL. Forgot what opposites were for a second. Okay. And just a note here too, going slow doesn't mean that you're not getting, like, you can get as the quality of your reps, the quality of your training is not dependent on how fast or slow you are going. I can still get just as much juice, just as much quality out of a rep that is fast versus a rep that is slow, technical, and methodical. Couple more seconds here, just feeling things out, trying things out, getting more reps. All right, take a beat, take a beat. Good job, y'all. Very nice job. Sip some water while I talk at you. All right. Making decision in my head. Last thing we'll do today. Last strike we'll learn today. I'm here in my fight stance. I want to be able to. I want us to have at least one strike for at distance with our hands and our feet, and at close distance with our hands and our feet. Right. So at distance, I've got my straight punches. I've got my extension kicks, like my front kick and my push kick. Up close to my legs, I've got my knee. Right? Up close with my arms, I can have my elbow. There are so many effective and beautiful ways to hit with an elbow. Truly, any angle with an elbow is a good elbow. You'll see in fights like Muay Thai. I think 7 different kinds of ways to hit an elbow. So that's the preference. Say that any way that you hit with this really, really sharp and hard part of your elbow is a great way to hit. The version where I'm going to teach specifically today is a forward elbow, where my elbow comes up and strikes upwards, right? If you're familiar with Muay Thai, if you have some martial arts experience before, I can strike upwards. And also for the purposes of today, you can also strike sideways as well, elbow coming out sideways. But if you feel more comfortable striking just up, I encourage you to strike just up as well. Striking up. So practice that just a few times in a row at your own pace, using both arms, striking up or striking sideways. Beautiful. Nice job, y'all. All right. Start moving around. Move using those elbows at random. Beautiful. Okay, here's our last combination of our time here together. I know the time goes so quickly. Here we are in our fight stance. Jab, cross, knee, elbow. Whichever elbow you'd like. Jab, cross, knee, elbow.
We had a question in the chat asking, what are you doing with your feet on the side elbow?
Totally. Great question. Thanks for asking that, Samuel. On the side elbow here, I'm still turning my hips like I was doing with my punches. My feet are not, I mean, my back heel is coming off the ground a little bit, but only in service of letting my hip turn over. Does that answer your question, Samuel? You can tell me no, and I can be more specific. Lovely. Cool. Okay, everyone. So 2 options to finish out our physical practice today. One, you can move around at random and at your own decision making, right? Shoot out that combination. Oh, I did it wrong. Whoops, I did it wrong. That's so funny. Okay. Jab, cross, knee, elbow. Or you can start on the ground, on your butt, practice getting up, and then immediately going into your combination. Totally up to you. You can choose whether to practice that from a get up or practice that just moving around. We're going to do this for just 1 minute here. Keep it moving. No matter whether you're doing it from the ground or doing it moving around, you're still going to get a good little bit of sweat in here. As you're moving around in this last bit, think of that word that you thought of about yourself at your most powerful from the beginning of the session. With each strike, with each punch, let yourself feel the reality of that one word. Nice job, Lion. Nice, Lilith. Strong punches. That looks great. Nice elbow, Ray. One more rep here. Give me one good combination. And time. Good job, y'all. Shake it out. Grab some water. Find a comfortable position to stand, kneel, or sit in. Whichever one feels good to you. I'm going to choose kneeling. Stretch out your chest. Bring your hands behind your chest and stretch out your chest. We spent this whole hour being tucked in like this. Now we're just going to stretch out the opposite direction. Find your breath. Just notice your breath here again. Is it breathing in really heavily? No need to fix or adjust here. I'm just noticing what our breath is doing. Reach both hands up towards the sky. And down towards the earth. Hands up towards the sky. And down towards the earth. Hug yourself tight. And extend out. Really great job today, y'all. Hug tight. Keep it going into extension, whether it's sideways or up and down. As you think about that one word that you thought of. At my most powerful, I am blank. Because you had the bravery to imagine it, means that it already exists. Even if in only your imagination, the fact that you were able to imagine it at all is proof that it can exist, and it does. And everything we did for the last hour, right, punching and kicking and kneeing and elbowing, you are beginning to or continuing to generate your most powerful self. So as you extend out, as you breathe, as you hug yourself, give yourself a little thank you for putting in that effort of reaching your most powerful self today. And let that be enough for today. And let that be enough for tomorrow. Beyond that, I will still be here, still rooting you on, still thinking about and hoping for and believing in all of your most powerful selves. Thank you all so much for being here. That's all I've got for you all today.
Thank you so much, Elijah, for your amazing facilitation and just the softness that you hold this space. We have a question from Samuel asking, do you have more meetings? Do you do other virtual things? What do you do? In person, virtual? What does that look like?
Totally. Yeah, yeah. I currently train both in person and virtually. I don't have any virtual groups right now, simply because there hasn't been a lot of interest. If there is interest, I will happily and gladly do it weekly even. I just haven't had a lot of interest in doing that. You can always follow me on Instagram at thank you, Rye. God, love that on it. Follow me on Instagram at PlayFightMove. You can also set up individual virtual training with me, or if there's a group of you and your pals that you'd like to train virtually together as well, virtual training is always an option with me. But yeah, go ahead and give me a follow, shoot me a message if you'd like to continue having sessions with me.
Yes, the website and Instagram are in the chat. I'll also be sending it out to folks via email in a few days once I get the video edited. But does anyone have any other questions? Here says either questions or reflections or affirmations, things you've noticed. I noticed I feel more in tune with my body. I was like switching stances, and one side felt a lot more shaky than the other. And over time, it started to feel better. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And Kira says, thank you so much, Delight. Aw. Yes, it was great meeting you, and this was also very helpful too. Lion says this is
I'm
better than
so glad,
Record
Lion.
Model.
That is the goal.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.